Yay. Okay. So welcome to the new host orientation. I am very excited to go through all of this stuff with you. As you guys know, there's a lot to learn on this app. I hope that you guys have been live already at least once or twice. If you've already had your audition and you've already passed, tomorrow will be the first of the month. So tomorrow you're going to get streaming and start getting your hours. I hope you guys have already been building your following and networking and making friends. This is what the app is all about. So today I am going to go through everything one thing at a time. Like I said, if you have questions, go ahead and put it in the chat and then just take notes. I do highly recommend you take notes. Yes, you will receive some of this information in your welcome email, and you already may have gotten it, but it's always good to just take notes of the things that really stand out in your mind, especially when I talk about PKs, events, live houses, payments, everything. So I would write down things if you want to be smart about it, but let's get started. So the first thing that I want to talk about is PST. Some of you guys are on a different time zone. So just make sure that when you guys are signing up for things, signing up for events, or when we remind you of stuff, that you remember that we are on Pacific time and BIOG does everything on Pacific time. Therefore, if you are in a different time zone, you will have to remember what the time calculation is on your own. Okay, so that's just the first thing to go over. Most of you guys have auditioned, so I'm going to skip this part. We've talked about changing your ID. Please make sure that you email us a copy of your driver's license with your BIGO ID. The reason we ask this of you is that sometimes some of you guys look pretty young on camera, and sometimes BIGO will cut your stream off because they think that you're under 18, because you're not allowed to be a streamer if you're under 18. So if that happens, what happens? Well, you'll tell us, hey, I got banned. And we'll ask BIGO, okay, what's the reason? And they might say, we need proof of ID. So this way we already have it and we can just send it right over and we can clear it up immediately instead of asking, hey, we need you to send a picture, blah, 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 blah. If it is a concern, sometimes they might ask for a picture of you holding your ID, but just, send the ID just to make sure that you're of legal age and everything, so that if it does happen, we can take care of it quickly. Okay, so what you guys need to know about your contract. So this is a month-to-month contract. There are 3 plans that most of you guys are on plan B. That is the general plan for everybody. There's a couple of you guys that are on plan A. So I'm just going to quickly touch plan A. You guys know it's 50 hours a month minimum and 3 hours a day counted towards those 50 hours. Okay, that is your minimum amount of hours, 50. Plan B, 30 hours minimum. And then you have to get a certain amount of tips in order to get paid. BIGO actually just gave us a brand new pay chart. They made a lot of changes to the pay tiers. So I'm going to go over that. And then you guys will get this pay tier chart in your email. And so you guys will always have it, so you know how many hours you need to do and how many beans you need to get in order to get paid certain amounts. As you climb up in the tiers, you have to do more hours. So that's something to be aware of, that even though 30 hours is a minimum for your base pay, that as you get more beans, you will also have to get more hours. Okay, so it's always a good idea to keep track of this chart and just set a goal for yourself. And I'll talk more about that in a little bit. Okay, so let's see, S tier. If you are on plan A and you do hit a higher tier with more money, you will get paid that. After 3 months for plan A, you're automatically put onto plan B like everybody else. So there are new tiers there are like lower tiers for people that are on plan B in your first 2 months. They have a tier called N1 and N2, and I will talk about that. They have these new tiers for people that are in their first 2 months. So if you get less beans and less hours, you still get paid some money, which is really good. So I'll talk about that after. When you guys are signed up, there is actual bonuses for people that are brand new. So I talked about it a little bit in your phone call, in your initial call, but when you are a new host, there is something that they call the New House Challenge. And in this challenge, you're going to get this in your email, the bonus email that outlines how to get these bonuses. You can achieve extra beans just by hitting these challenge points. So I'm just going to open up this New House Challenge flyer just to talk about it real quick. New house. There it is. Okay. So the new house challenge, you guys are automatically signed up for new house challenge as Plan B hosts. And you can get, all right, the challenge. An average ACU of 80 from a total of the top 10 broadcast days. So what you want to do is have at least 80 people in your room. They average out your best 10 broadcast days. So this is very achievable. That's one challenge. The second challenge, they want you to post on the bar in the new house challenge bar topic, maximum 1 per day. And then you have to join a family. I'm going to talk about what the bar is, and I'll talk about what families are, but these are the challenges. If you complete all 3 of these challenges in 20 days, they give you 15,000 beans for free. Okay, so you will get this flyer, this new house challenge PDF. You'll get it in your email, so you guys can go through this on your own. I'm not going to talk about everything. I just want to talk about it really quickly. You'll get the PDF. You can read it carefully. If you have any questions, you can ask us in your hub. You can complete 1 to 3 of the challenges and get up to 15,000 beans, which is really, really great. So that's free money. So that's something that you guys will want to do. Another thing they offer for you guys is if you get a certain amount of fans following you in your first 30 days, you get a bonus. You get money bonus, I think up to $100 for like 500 fans or 1,000. Let me double check on that. But there is a fan bonus. So you can get money just for having people follow you. And then another bonus that you can get is another $100 for just doing 50 hours in your first 30 days. So there's lots of ways to make extra money as you're starting out. So just be aware of this and try to hit all of those bonuses so you can get lots of extra money for free. Yay, extra money. We all love extra money. So elimination rules. This is a month-to-month contract, and you guys are signed on and you guys are official paid hosts. So what happens if you don't make your requirements? They will give you warnings, but they actually don't eliminate people anymore, which is really, really nice. But you want to stay in good standing for, try to stay in good standing for every month. If you're on plan B and you do less than 10 hours for 2 consecutive months, they will put you up for elimination and we have to request to save you. So just keep that in mind. If you don't hit your bean requirements for 2 consecutive months, you will also be up for elimination. So just keep in mind that you have 2 months each time. And then we have to like request to keep you on, but they don't really eliminate people anymore. So don't like stress out about it, but just know that the app is watching you and they are wanting hosts that are performing, and they could cut you off. So just be careful with that. So streaming requirements, what is counting towards your live stream? You have to be active on your stream for at least 30 minutes. I say 35 because you wouldn't want to go 30 minutes and then like you have it not count just because maybe your timer is off or whatever it is. So just like try to do at least 35 minutes, but while you're streaming. Oops, what did I just do? I lost my place. There, okay. So try to do at least 35 minutes, and that's what's going to count towards your stream time. So it has to be at least half an hour, and then they count the maximum amount of hours time. So we do recommend, you know, as an experienced streamer, I have noticed that when I go live for 4 to 5 hours a night or a day, whatever, that has been my best streams. Those are the times where I've made 10,000 plus beans, 20,000 beans. Those are the best streams I've ever had when I stayed on. Even after like a couple hours, sometimes it might feel boring, especially when you're like brand new and you don't have a lot of people, you know, and it's kind of like it's a slow start. You know, at some points, even when you are a popular streamer, at some points your stream might feel like, okay, it's kind of dying down. If you stick it out, if you just like kind of ride that through, it can pick up again. Like you never know, you might get somebody coming into your room that just randomly found you, because the algorithm on the app, the longer you stay on, the more that people are going to get your little box like on their live, the more you're going to show up. And you never know who's going to pop in your room, who you're going to meet. It might be a huge gifter. They might start gifting you big. All of a sudden you're high on the heat list, and then there you go, right? And you never know. So just trying to stay live for an extended period of time is a good way to get your following up fast and to give yourself the best chance to be seen on the app by new people. So if you're just doing like the minimum and you're doing 2 hours, and then you're like, all right, it's been 2 hours, I'm going to go. You will find, that your minimum amount of effort is going to give you the minimum amount of payback, right? So when you put that extra effort in and you stay 4 or 5 hours, like you will be very surprised at how like many more people will come to your room and how much more successful you can be just by streaming longer amounts of time in one night versus just sticking with the 2 hour minimum, okay? Or 3 hours if you're plan A. So try to do more and just see what works. And also like timing wise, your schedule, staying on a specific schedule is really important for your viewers, because it's like watching your favorite television show, right? When you know your show is on at 8 o'clock every night, you know when that person's on, right? And oh, it's 8 o'clock. I know that Denise is live, right? So having a normal schedule and sticking to your schedule is really beneficial for your viewers, for the people that love you, for your diehard fans, right? Everybody knows you're on at this time. I really highly recommend that. It doesn't mean that, sure, if you plan on being on every night at 8 o'clock and then one night you can't do it, that's totally fine, right? This is your schedule. This is your work, right? You get to create your own schedule and do your own time. So like that's okay. But it does help when you have something consistent and people know that you're on at a certain time. It just helps those people know, right? Instead of you having to randomly be like, hey guys, I'm on. And they're like, oh, well, fuck, I'm busy, So just know that that is something that really, really helps. Hold on. Someone's doing something. I don't know what that is. Okay. So yeah, that helps. Let's see. If your stream is cut off before 35 minutes, it doesn't count and you have to start over. Okay. There is a note that I want to say: your messages on BIGO, do not reply to any messages on BIGO if you don't know this person. There's a lot of scams and there's a lot of hackers. There's like sugar daddy offers, beans and trades, like just ignore all of that stuff. It's a scam. It's a hacker. If you've met that person on your live several times and you trust them, like great. Yes, you can talk to people in your messages, but a lot of times just don't try to converse with people you don't know in your messages, because it's a lot of scams. All right, so just be careful. Honey says in the chat that you can turn off messages from strangers now. So that's good. Yay, no more weirdos. So that is good. It's in the settings, she says. So yay for that. Okay. Once you're approved as a host, you will be notified. You can start streaming immediately. We have added you guys to the official news chat. So I just want to talk quickly about the news chat. It is called Flaunt BIGO News. And let me just double check that I said the right title. Flaunt BIGO News. Yeah, so everybody will be in that chat on WhatsApp. That is a group chat where only I and the admins can send messages. So it's not going to be spammed with a lot of like random people talking. It is only important messages. So please, on WhatsApp, you guys can mute conversations if there's a group you're in or whatever. You don't want to get messages from WhatsApp. Just mute those single conversations, but have the notifications for your hub and have the notifications for the Flaunt BIGO News chat turned on. What I will be posting in this really, really important group are party links, updates from BIGO, agency incentives. Each month we do like incentives, agency meetups. So this is all just important news. It's not just spam. Okay. So I don't want you guys ignoring those messages that go in the chat, because sometimes it might feel like, oh, like it's another message, it's another message. It's not just another message. It is always important stuff. And because BIGO is constantly sending us updates, when we put the parties and the PK links in the chat, you want to see them right away, right? You want to be able to sign up for those right away. Or there's like, sometimes BIGO will be like, oh, we have a new house spot, 1,000 free beans for anyone that's available right now. And I'll post in the chat, who's available right now, right? So these messages are time sensitive. And so you definitely want to be watching this chat. And Honey has recommended in the chat that you pin your hub and your Flaunt BIGO News to the top, which is great, right? So everybody on WhatsApp knows that you can pin certain conversations to the top. I highly suggest, like Honey did, yes, you pin your hub, and you pin the BIGO news chat to the very top of your WhatsApp, so it's always there. That's wonderful advice. Thank you, honey. So keeping an eye on those groups, okay? Go over the welcome package that we're going to send in your email very carefully. It's very important. We do have a Slack channel. I will say the Slack is like, I don't know if you're familiar with Slack. If you're not, don't stress about it. If you are, great. We use Slack. It's basically like an app and also a workspace online, like on your desktop. You can do both desktop and application on your phone that helps organize workspaces. So what we use the Slack for is like archives, right? So all the time, a lot of times, you know, there's so many messages in the group chat that you don't have time to like sift through, right? All these messages. You can star messages. Remember that you can always star important messages you want to reference later. And I do recommend that because I send good things in the chat. But if you can't find something in the news group, you can go to the Slack channel and you can kind of check the archive. So it's like the filing cabinet of all the important things we've talked about in the past. So there's where you can find like your pay tiers. You can find the old party links. You can find groups that you can join. Sorry, something's in my eye. Groups that you can join on BIGO for like replacements, and like a lot of really useful information just lives there forever on Slack. Okay. So you can always join the Slack channel and find old info. A lot of times what you will find in that Slack channel are answers to questions that you might have. So instead of needing to ask us, you can just go explore the Slack and you can find all the really great important information that we've left there to live forever. Okay, so we talked about the new house bonuses already, which is really, really exciting. Now we're going to talk about pay charts. So you will get this new pay chart in your email. So don't worry, everyone will get this. But I'm just going to talk about the different charts. Actually, let me see if I can share this in the chat so you can look at it too. Let me see. Okay, so I'm going to share this in the chat. There you go. So I just sent the pay chart to everybody in the chat there. So you can feel free to take a look at it, or you can just follow along with what I'm saying. And you will get this in your email. So don't worry, you will have this. And this also lives in Slack. So you will have this in Slack too. So BIGO just changed our pay tiers, and they have made it a little more accessible for when you're starting off to get paid. Because before it used to be like, if you didn't hit 40,000 beans, you got zero money, right? So it was like a little bit like, you know, at the beginning when you were new, it was more difficult to start getting paid. And now they've made it easier for you to get some money, but they've also made it more lucrative to get higher tiers to get paid more money. So the lower tiers, you don't get paid too much. It's just to kind of help you get something while you're starting, but they really want to encourage you to get to these higher tiers. So N1, N2 are the lowest tiers. These tiers are for new hosts. They weren't clear. I'm going to double check, but I believe that these N1 and N2 tiers are only valid for your first 2 months streaming on BIGO. Okay. So N1, the lowest tier, 20 hours, 10,000 beans, $100. N2, 25 hours, 20,000 beans, $200. Okay, now we're going to get up to CBA tiers. These tiers are for, again, new people, beginners, beginners to intermediate, where your C tier is 30,000 beans, $260, 30 hours. Okay, so now we're up to 30 hours. And then B is $60,520. And then A, which is really where you start. This is really where you really want to aim for, is hitting the A tier and up. And so we'll talk about S tiers in a moment. So the A tier is 90,000 beans. You get paid $800. Okay, so this is kind of, and you do 30 hours. This is like where you really want to aim to have as your baseline. Okay, so as you guys get better and better at streaming, I would say tier A is like your minimum. Okay, that's where you want to be. That's your goal for each month minimum. Mina asked, does age affect which tier you can be in? Absolutely not. No, doesn't matter how old you are. Okay, and so then we're going to get into S tiers. So S1 up to S11, these are the good tiers. These are where we start making money. I'm just going to get my calculator out really quick because I want to calculate how much tips is S1. If you can get 130,000 beans divided by 210. Okay, so S1 tier, you're going to make $620 in tips and you're going to get $1,120 in your base pay. Okay, so as the S1, you're going to get paid almost $1,800 a month. And that is a minimum of 32 hours. So you start to see that once you get to these tiers, right, that's when you start making good money, which is exciting, right? And you can go all the way up. So just know that when you're starting, right, we have these lower tiers for you because you're starting off, you're just building your following, you're networking, you're learning the app, right? But after, 3 or 4 or 5 months, I would say, 6 months in, you really want to be aiming for these S tiers. These are the good tiers. These are where the money starts getting good. The tips start getting good. You're up on the heat list. You're starting to get popular, right? This is where you're going to hit the ground running. Okay. So there's a question, how many beans to get to that tier? I think I just answered that. Or is it by month? Yes. So it is by month. Every month it resets to 0. Okay. So you don't roll over with your beans. Of course, you roll over with your tips, right? Your tips don't go away. If you keep your tips on the app, that's where they are. That's where they live. You can cash out your tips if you want. You have to have, I think, at least $15 in tips in order to cash out. And I'll talk about how you're getting paid in a moment. So yes, every month it resets. Every month you have to do another another 30 hours minimum, right? And every month you have to hit another tier. It starts back at 0. And that's how you get paid every month. So at the end of the month, let's say, from here, you guys are starting February 1st. We have a few less days in the month. Damn it, February. Why do they do that? It's okay. So you have a few less days, but on February 28th, at the midnight point, that's when it closes. That's when your hours are counted. That's when your beans are counted. And whatever tier you hit, then you get paid the following month. BIOG usually pays between the 5th and the 8th of every month. So that's when you can expect to get paid for the previous month. Okay, so let's talk about cross support and keeping track of your beans and keeping track of your time, of your hours, right? So BIOG has a limit to how many beans you can gift each other within the same agency. Okay, so this is why you want to make friends outside of your agency. The agency is great to have support for like asking questions, getting replacements, making friends, having support, kind of like moral support. But you don't want the agency to be your bean support, right? You want your gifters to be organic, gifters from other agencies or just gifters in general, people that aren't hosts, right? You want like gifters. So you want to watch out for these people. The people that come into your room that are labeled SVIP, these are the good people. These are the ones that are spending a lot of money on the app. If you see somebody that comes into your room that says SVIP, just know that person is spending a lot of money on the app and you want to be friends with that person. Okay, so those are the good spenders, just so you know. So you do want to network outside the agency because you're not allowed to get, I think, Leah, is it 40 or 50%? 40%. Okay,
40.
Yes. Yeah. So 40% of your beans can come from within the agency, but you cannot get over 40%. So 60% of your beans that you get each month have to be from outside of the agency. Honestly, this is very achievable. Don't stress about it. I would say, most people don't even come close to 40% because everyone is, making friends outside the agency and stuff like that. So don't stress about it, but just be aware of it. Okay. Every week, and sometimes more than every week, we get an hours report. And on the hours report, we'll post that in the group chat. We'll also post it in Slack. And on the hours report, you will be able to see how many hours you have, how many beans, what your percentage is from within the agency, and what I'm going to talk about next, your out of region beans. Okay, so you'll be able to check every week on your hours report to make sure that you're doing okay and you're staying within these limits. Out of region beans, this is something that's sort of new. Basically, sometimes gifters will come from a different territory, like a different country in the world. It doesn't happen too often because, you know, you guys, people are pretty local when they go on the app. They see what's nearby and they see what's popular in their region. So someone would have to actively go from another country to your country and find you to come from another country. So it doesn't happen too much, but it does happen. And so out of region beans are not worth as much as in region beans. I believe they're only worth 20%. Is that correct, Leah?
Yeah, so this is just for your quota though. You still get the same amount in tips. So if they send you 1,000 diamonds, you get 1,000 beans. But toward your quota for the month, you're only going to get 200 of those beans that actually count.
And yes, if everybody got that, you guys can react. I forgot to tell you at the beginning of the thing, you can do the reactions in the chat so that, or not in the chat, just like on the bottom there, you can see reactions. So I can be like, yay, see me? I did the thumbs up. So you guys can react if you get it. So yeah, so hopefully you guys understood that. So out of region beans, yes, she was exactly right. You get the same amount of money that it counts, but it doesn't count as much towards your quota. Okay, so just remember that. You can look at that on the chart, on the hours report. It'll tell you your number of out of region beans. So just be very aware of that because they did implement that like pretty recently. And there were a few hosts that were affected that they thought they hit a tier, but because of their out of region beans, they didn't hit the tier and they didn't get paid. So it's a little frustrating, but that's why we want you guys to just be aware of it throughout the month so that that doesn't happen to you come end of the month. Okay.
Yeah, I was one of those people.
Yeah, she was twice, 2 months. So she was like, I don't know what's happening. I was like, oh God. But yeah, we know now. Okay, so you can check your percentages in your messages. There is a BIGO official account on BIGO, and they're called BIGO Global Services ID 30,000. I'm just going to put this in the chat right now. You guys should all be following this account, 30,000. That's the BIGO ID. They will message you. Those are the official messages from BIGO. They will send you your numbers from time to time here. If you're in the gaming program, I believe they send you the updates and from this as well. But these messages are important from BIGO. Okay, so this is legit. Other ones are scams. This is legit. Follow 30,000. Okay, so a recommendation that I like to set for myself as a streamer is to have a daily bean goal because, you know, and of course, if you don't reach that goal every day, don't be mad at yourself, right? But it's nice to set a little goal, right? So if I'm sending, you know, if I'm setting like myself, I want to hit this tier this month, then I'll break it down and be like, okay, so if I want to hit 130,000 beans this month, then that means if I go live for 25 days of the month, I need this many beans, right? So it's really good to just set goals for yourself. That way you're on track through the month, right? And you're not like kind of just floating along, right? It's good to have a goal. It's good to be aware. So another thing that I want you guys to be aware of is your hours. I recommend that you screenshot your live stream report before you end your live every time you go live. What I did is, so when you're streaming and you have like your live on BIGO, you can just like swipe down. There's also a video on YouTube. You guys will all get the YouTube playlist. It's like little short how-to videos with like pictures and stuff on YouTube that I made. There is a video on YouTube on how to do that. So you would just like swipe down and it's like a black screen and it says like how many followers you got, how many beans you got, and how long you were live. I screenshot that every time before I stop my live. I always screenshotted it. And then I would make an album. I had Google Photos. If you guys use iCloud or whatever you use, make a photo album of every time and all your screenshots and put it in there. Because at the end of the month, just in case, okay, and this doesn't usually happen, to be honest, any host that's ever been like, I was live this one, I've like, usually like they weren't live the amount of hours that they said they were, but just in case, because I think it has happened like once or twice, if your hours report that in your live wallet, which I'll talk about in a second, is incorrect, this is your proof of how many hours you went live and how many beans you got, right? So this is your concrete, solid proof of I did this many hours. Every day I was live on this day, I did this much hours, all right? So at the end of the month, if there's any discrepancy, if you did 35 hours and the app is saying that you didn't, right? Or you got this many beans and the app said that you didn't, just so we can go through the evidence and send it to BIGO and said, this is, you know, the host evidence that they were live. It always helps just to have that, okay? Because if you don't have that and you think that there's a discrepancy on your live data, I can't help you. We cannot do anything for you because you don't have proof, right? So if you ever have an issue, you're going to need to have proof. And that's why I just recommend that you just do it. So screenshot every time. And then, you know, at the end of the month, if everything is fine and, you know, you got paid the money that you were owed, great, delete the album, right? You don't need it, you know? So it's totally fine. You don't have to keep it forever, but you do have to keep it for each month just to be sure that everything is correct. That's me being a Virgo. That's me doing the most. And you guys should do that too as hosts, to be responsible for your own hours and your own pay. Okay. So I highly recommend that. There is the video on YouTube. You guys will get the playlist. So yes, I talked about the hours report. So in the hours report, it's often a couple of days behind. Like they'll send us the report and be like February 1st to February 6th, and then it's February 8th. And some people are always like, oh, but I did 12 hours and it says I did 10 hours. And it's like, okay, yeah, but it's counting until the 5th or the 6th, not the 8th. So just remember there's a lag on the hours report. So don't freak out if it's not totally up to date and matching your live data in the wallet, which I'll talk about in a second. Okay, so the hours reports are always just a few days behind. Now, BIGO wallet, we're going to talk about your live data and your everything in your wallet now. So in your BIGO profile, under, you know, your settings and everything like that, you're going to see a thing that says live data. You can click on it. There's also a video on YouTube on the playlist, on the how-to playlist, where it explains how to look for this. This is where you can see everything that you've done for the month. This is also usually one day behind. So don't freak out if you streamed one day, you did 2 hours, and then you go to your live data and it says you did 0. Just give it a day to catch up and you know, get your data in there, and then it'll be up to date. So here, what you guys can, like I said, watch the video on YouTube to see it. But you'll be able to check how many beans you've got. You'll be able to check how many hours the app is calculating, and then you'll know what your goal is, right? You'll know how close to your goals you are. You really want to watch this carefully because this is what the app is counting. So yes, you might think, oh, I went live, you know, I looked at my clock and I went live at 6:30 and then I went to 10, I swear, but maybe you didn't. So you have to look at your live wallet in your live data in your wallet, because that is what the app says you've done. So that is what you want to go by to get your 30 hours. Getting your hours is highly recommended to get it in early. I will tell you 100% at the end of the month, people are scrambling, people get banned. So guess what? You know, if you have to do 30 hours in a month and you wait till the end of the month, to the last day to get your 30 hours, you're a fool, right? Like, why would you wait till the last day? You only have to stream 15 out of 31 days in the month to get your hours. Why are you waiting till the last day to get your hours? So what happens at the end of the month oftentimes is BIGO is on one with their bans. They might ban you for 2 days. They might ban you for 24 hours. And if you're scrambling to get your hours at the last day of the month and you get banned, guess what? You're screwed and you're not getting paid because you didn't get your hours. So don't wait until the end of the month to start getting your hours in. Get them in as early as you can. Do it, stream for 2 weeks straight, every damn day. Get it in. And then that way, at the end of the month, you can relax. You can focus, instead of on worrying about your hours, you can focus on getting more beans. You can focus on hitting a higher tier. You can focus on more, right? Instead of focusing on just getting that minimum. Like, what happens? Imagine if you waited all month to go live, and then the last few days, you have to get 30 hours, and you got tons of tips, and you got 130,000 beans, and you could have hit a higher tier, but you only did 30 hours. So guess what? You didn't hit that higher tier because in order to get paid that, you had to do 32 hours. Now you just got screwed out of all that money because you waited the last minute and you couldn't get those extra hours because you hit a higher tier. So hopefully that makes sense to everybody, what I just said. I really recommend that you guys get your hours in early so that you can focus on getting more hours and more beans and more money instead of struggling for that bare minimum at the end of the month. Okay. Everybody do a little thumbs up reaction so I can see that y'all are paying attention. Good. I see one thumbs up. I only see one thumbs up. I see a heart. Okay, good. Come on, guys. There we go. All right. Well, for those of you guys that didn't do the thumbs up, if you missed it, you're missing out and it's your fault. All right. So Warren says in the chat, beans are something that BIOG gives you for meeting your time. No. Non-agency members, agency members, no. Okay, so beans are not something that BIOG gives you unless you, how do I explain this? Beans are tips, right? When viewers gift you, when someone likes you and they send you a gift, you're gonna get beans. So BIOG will give you beans if you do official events, they'll give you bonus beans. But beans are really gifts from people. That's what beans are. So they don't have to be in the agency. They could be in the agency. Anybody that's on BIOG can gift. So hopefully that is clear. Okay, next topic. Payment. Great, getting paid. Yay. We all want to get paid. Okay, so how you're going to get paid is each month at the end of the month, like I said, between the 5th and the 8th, usually, BIOG will deposit whatever money, whatever tier you hit in that month before, they will deposit that amount in US dollars in beans in your account. So it'll match, you know, how I said 210 beans is $1. So whatever amount you get in dollars, they're going to deposit that in beans into your account. You can then do a couple things with it. You can cash out your beans by 2 ways. They have something called Air Wallets and Payoneer. We recommend Payoneer. We have, I'm going to put the link in the chat right now, but you also will have this in your email, but just in case, here is the link to Payoneer. This is the link you want to use because once you cash out $1,000, you get an extra $25 for free from Payoneer. So definitely use my link. That is my referral link. So you get free $25 just for using that link to sign up after you cash out $1,000. So this is how you're going to cash out your beans. This is how you're going to get paid. You can do it that way, or if you want to keep some money on the app, you can exchange your beans for diamonds. That way you can gift people back. It's the best, I think you'll have to look at the wallet to see which gives you the most beans for exchanging your money, the most diamonds for the money, but beans is usually the best way. So instead of buying beans or buying diamonds with money, you could buy diamonds with your beans and they'll give you the most diamonds from the beans that you exchange. Okay, so you can do that. You can exchange beans for diamonds and you can send gifts with diamonds. That's how you get to send the gifts. So you can cash out or you can put money back on the app. That is totally up to you. There is a video on YouTube, again, in the how-to playlist on how to cash out your beans. So if you're ever wondering about that, you can watch that. All right, so we know that beans are tips, and there's a couple of ways that viewers can tip you. They can send you gifts. Oh yeah, so let's talk a little, just quickly about the gifts that you can send. So when you guys get a little more experienced on the app, or when you guys kind of explore it, you will discover that different gifts mean different things. It's quite an Easter egg hunt. And some gifts give you less. Someone just joined right now. Some gifts give you less beans than others. For example, sometimes when you're on the app, you can see under the gifts, there's gifts that say SL. There's like little tiny, like, I don't know, you'll discover. And I would ask people about this too, because they're constantly changing their gifts and stuff. But for example, there's one that says SL. That means super lucky. Those are gambling gifts. So when people send you gifts that are super lucky gifts, you are not getting the same amount of beans as it costs them to send the gift. You're getting a less amount of beans and they are getting a chance to win diamonds back. So a lot of times people will send those gambling gifts because they can win, and you'll see someone won 10 times, someone won 100 times. You know, so like you'll learn about these gifts and you'll learn what gifts are most beneficial to you and what gifts are beneficial to the gifters and what gifts are special. Some gifts have like crazy secret things where people can win extra stuff. So just be aware that BIGO is constantly doing these new gifts and these new fun things to help incentivize people to gift you. So it does help in your benefit to learn about what these gifts mean. You can either ask your family founder, or you can explore on the app. A lot of times, let me see if I open up the app, if I can find, like there's banners. And so like, if I open up the app, like usually, oh, it's already open, so they didn't advertise to me. Hold on, let me close the app. And then, because usually when you first open it, there's like the advertisement for like whatever. Right now, Super Beast Trainer. Okay, so Super Beast Trainer is the new gifts that they have, right? And so like, see this little banner here that's like kind of showing me family events, right? So it shows you family stuff. Like this banner is kind of a lot of where the new gifts, they'll talk about the new gifts. So that says Aquarius, February 1st to February 7th. Ooh, so if I click on that, it says, it tells me information about these new gifts, right? So you guys should explore the app and use your brain and figure out what these gifts mean, because then you can tell your viewers, hey, if I get this many of this gift, you get this, or I get this, or, you know, so like, it's really good to be up on these new gifts because they're competitions and they give gifters bonus beans and stuff like that, or bonus diamonds. So like if I'm looking at Aquarius, I can see the leaderboard, I can see return rewards, gifting level, and I can kind of read up on this stuff. Now, some of these gifts are kind of hard to discover what they mean, which is why I said you should like ask people and stuff like that, because they do make it really complicated. It's not easy, okay? This isn't for like kindergarteners. This is, you know, you do have to use your brain and you do have to figure this stuff out. But it's just kind of in your best interest, right? To kind of know what gifts, or you can pick like your favorite gifts. I think on BIGO, you can have like your wish list too. And you can say, tell gifters, oh, this is my favorite gift. And you can kind of pick ones that you really like to encourage people to give you certain ones, right? Just know what gifts are worth more and know what gifts are kind of like not. Like family gifts are always worth 1-to-1. So like dragons, shields, maces, like those are gifts that you really, really want. They also help your family combat points. We'll talk about families in a moment. But those are kind of like the most solid gifts on the app, is the family prestige gifts, okay? So just learn about that and you'll discover some new things about gifts. Okay. Let's talk about parties now. This is something I'm sure that you guys have been trying to get me to answer, because PKs and parties, you're like, what the hell is that? Sally, I'll answer your question later. Buy diamonds and exchange them for beans. No, you can only exchange your beans for diamonds, Kenny. You can't buy diamonds and get beans. Beans are only gifts from gifters. You can't buy beans. Okay, so parties. I want to make sure that everybody is doing well so far. Oh, thanks, Davidson. He says he's been watching my videos on YouTube. Thank you. I do want to make more, and I'm glad that you found those helpful. Yay. If you guys have a question and then there's like a topic that you don't see on the YouTube, that's like a big question that you think a lot of people would be asking, you can let me know and I can make a video about it. So how's everyone doing? Let's just see like a thumbs up. You guys okay so far? We're almost through, so hopefully you guys are doing good. I don't see any thumbs up, so that's bad. Oh, there's a couple. Okay, good. All right, excellent. So we're gonna move on to PKs and live houses now. So some of you guys might still not know what a PK is. It stands for player knockout. Again, there is a video on YouTube on the how-to playlist on how to join a PK and what a PK is. So hopefully that will help you guys, but I'll explain some of it now. So PK stands for player knockout, and it is the most popular challenge on the app. In fact, it is a popular challenge on all live streaming apps. TikTok does battles, you know, like everybody does it. Basically what it is 2 hosts will go against each other, and it's a certain amount of time, and whoever gets the most gifts in that amount of time wins. So with BIGO, they have what they call official PKs, official player knockouts, and they have matches where you can just do it for fun. And they also have family PKs. So the difference between these three PKs are official PKs are PKs that you sign up for with BIGO. BIGO will award you a PK. If you get awarded one, you will do your PK and then you will get bonus beans. When you sign up for these PKs, we put these links in the group chat. When you sign up for one, I highly recommend, and I don't just highly recommend, you must read what you're signing up for. I've had last month, we had a new host get really overzealous about PKs and signed up for all these impossible PKs. And he didn't even look to see what an impossible PK was. An impossible PK is called impossible for a reason. It is not for new people. So when you sign up for these parties, these PKs, you want to read the requirements. Some of the requirements in order to get these bonus beans are things like on an impossible PK, you have to get 10,000 beans to win in order to get your bonus beans. Now, if you're new, getting 10,000 beans in 10 minutes might be kind of difficult. So for you to sign up for an impossible PK is stupid, right? Because you're not going to get that and you're not going to get the bonus beans and you just wasted your time and you're not going to get the bonus. So look for new PKs, friendly PKs, theme PKs, right? These PKs offer really low requirements. Sometimes you just got to show up. Even the loser gets beans for free. Okay. So you don't even have to win your PK. If you just show up, you get beans for free. These are the PKs for you. These are the new people PKs. Once you start getting more advanced, right, and you start getting gifters and you know, oh yeah, someone can drop a dragon on me, no problem. Then you can sign up for the impossibles. You know, you can hit a box. Awesome. You can sign up for an impossible box. You get like tons of free beans. These are great once you're experienced. But once you're starting out, please do not sign up for these PKs because you will not hit these requirements and you're just wasting your time. You want to sign up for the new people ones, the theme, the friendly. So just read what the requirements are. Mina asks, still counts as hours even if you don't win. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Anytime that you're live streaming solo or hosting a panel or doing a match or a PK, that counts. Okay. You have to be the host of your panel though. You can't join someone else's panel. That doesn't count. You have to be the host on a panel. So those are official PKs that BIGO sends out to us that they'll give you bonus beans. There are family PKs. Now, what's really great about the family PKs are oftentimes they will offer you a bigger rebate than the official PKs. I've seen 40% rebate. I'll talk about that in a second, Joy. So I've seen 40% rebates on family PKs. That means whatever beans you get during that PK, BIGO will give you an extra 40% just for doing it. And what's nice about family PKs is there's more spots. So there's like less competition to get the PKs versus like the official PKs, all the hosts are signing up for them. So it's like kind of, you know, like if you get awarded one, great. If you get awarded a couple, awesome, but you might not. So you have to sign up for a lot of spots. With family PKs, they're much easier to get. You have to join a family, of course, right? And I'll talk about families in a little bit. You have to be in a family in order to access these family PKs. So join a family because this is great. I mean, you're getting bonus, you're getting 40% bonus of your gifts just for joining a PK, right? So you guys really need to be aware of this. And I'm going to let Leah in a second talk about her experience with PKs because she says it really, really great. And I really want you guys to hear what she has to say about it. But that's what a family PK is. And you can get those much easier than official PKs if you just join a family. The third option for PKs are just for fun, right? You can match with people. These are not official PKs, so you're not going to get any bonus beans. You're not going to get any bonuses for doing this. But what's nice about these PKs is that one, you meet new people, right? Because you can just match with anybody. You can meet new people, meet new followers, right? Because somebody on that side, you can match with someone who's super popular. And then everybody on their side that's watching them is now seeing you and they can come and they can follow you. So this is really great to get followers. And then it's really great to incentivize your gifters to give gifts, right? They want you to win. You're in a PK, you're in a match, right? So these three ways of doing the PKs are just going to be your best friend, especially when you're starting out. And now I'm going to pass the mic over to Leah. If you don't have your video, then I'm not going to pin you on the thing, but if you're going to do your video, I'll pin you. But Honey is going to talk about her experience with PKs.
Hey guys. Yeah, so I wish that when I was first a new host that I knew about how much money, how many fans, and how many rebates you can create by doing PKs. So I have, I'd say like in the last 4 or 5 months, started doing at least 2 PKs every single day and have really optimized my ability to get my beans. And so I always recommend new hosts, you sign up for at least 1 new PK every single day. Beagle might not give you all of them, but if you get all 30 of them, you get an extra 15,000 beans. And that's even if you don't get any gifts from anyone. So just for showing up, lining with the other person, even if you're on 0 beans for that entire 20 minutes, you're still going to get 500 beans for each and every single one that you do from Bigo. And like Denise explained a minute ago, it's a great way to meet people. It's a great way to get followers, and you're getting extra from Bigo. The breakdown for if you just do the new PKs is an extra $71. So you're going to go live for 30 minutes anyway. Might as well use that time to get some extra beans, meet new people, and generate that extra income. There's also other agency PKs, the theme PK and the friendly PK, that give a little bit higher rewards, but it does require you to get a minimum bean gifted to you. So the friendly PKs are now set at 250 beans and the theme PKs are now 430, but you get a higher reward. So the friendly PKs, you get 750 bean reward, and the theme PKs, if you win, you get 2,000, and even if you lose, you get 1,000. So I sign up for at least 1 friendly or 1 theme every day, and then I also sign up for a family PK. And the family PKs are a little bit different than the agency PKs. They have different rebates depending on the type of PK that you sign up for. Some of them are winner take all. They mean like if you don't win, you don't get any rebate, but those are the higher ones. And those are the ones that if I do sign up for them, I usually have people set up. Like I say, hey, I have this high rebate PK. Please come and drop, however much, 5K, 10K, however much I need, or I want to target. But they do also have ones where you can bring your own buddy and it pays like a 30% rebate or a 65% rebate. You just have to go to where Denise said, where that family bar is, where it's telling you different events, and pick the one that fits, what you think you'll be able to hit, the target you'll be able to hit. So yeah, I also did the math on if you do in your first month a new PK, a theme PK, and a friendly PK every single day, it ends up being around 67,000 diamonds that you'll get. Beans that you'll get. And the monetary value on that is an extra $321. So you really can optimize, what you're doing on the app by doing PKs. So do PKs, guys. That's the moral of the story.
Yay. Thank you, babe. So she discovered a little late how beneficial this is, and now she's killing it because she's doing PKs all the time, and you guys have that chance starting from day 1. I'll just call you Joy because it says Joy top 2. She or he said, are PKs mandatory? Yes, they are. You have to sign up for at least 1 official PK, not a family PK, not a match. You have to sign up for at least 1 official PK per month in order to get paid. So if you don't get awarded one, don't panic, but you have to sign up. If you don't sign up and it's the end of the month and we know that you didn't sign up, we're going to have to sign up for you and I will deduct your pay because I don't want to have to do your job for you. So you need to sign up on your own. I am going to show you this little bar again, just so you guys can see, right? Always check out what's going on here on the bar. And then you can see right here, family, that's SVIP, family events. And you click on it and look, there's all of these awesome things that you can do. Okay, so you can always just scroll. These are all the family events and you click on it and it'll tell you what to do and you sign up. Okay, so that's how easy it is. Okay, let me go back to my thing here. PKs. All right, so how we're going to notify you when you sign up. All right, don't just sign up for like Tuesday at 5 o'clock and then like hope and pray that you get that spot. There are thousands of people signing up for Tuesday at 5 o'clock. Okay, so don't just sign up for Tuesday at 5. Sign up for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You know, like sign up for as much as you can, because that way you have a better chance of getting awarded the PK. Because if you just sign up for one spot on one day, like, well, then you're probably not going to get it because everybody wants that spot, right? But if you open yourself up and just say, okay, I want to do all of these days and all of these times, you'll get awarded that PK much easier. And if there's ever a time where, okay, you know what, I got awarded one and I can't make it, shoot, I'm working that day, I got booked to work, you can go to a replacement chat and you can give it away. Somebody will want your PK. They can say, hey, you know, you can just put it in the chat and say, hey, like, I can't make it. Does anyone want this one? Or maybe you know a friend on BIOG, you make friends on BIOG and tell your friend, hey, I can't make it. Do you want this? Or, you know, and if you have trouble getting rid of it, which you shouldn't, if you join the replacement chats, they're public groups that we will send to you. That if you join these replacement chats, you should have no hard time at all giving away these PKs. And if you do, you can tell us, hey, I have one, I can't make it, I can't seem to find a replacement, can you help? You know, we'll try to get it replaced for you. But getting replacements, like Sean said earlier, is your own job. And I'm going to tell you how to do this in a second. I'm going to look at the chat. Mina's asking anything besides 30 hours a month and 1 PK a month that we will have to do. Yeah, you have to get a certain amount of beans. Okay. Okay, Sally, awesome. Yes, so every day. Wait, I'll be on set Wednesday. Yeah, so if you get awarded a PK, then that's fine. You can get it replaced if you can't make it. So replacements, how we work replacements, and this is really, really important because a lot of times most agencies, they don't tell their hosts when they have PKs. I pay somebody, Sean, to every day check the schedule. This is coming out of my pocket. I am paying someone to check the schedule for you to tell you about your PKs. Okay, so I'm paying for this, and not everybody does that. Most agencies do not check the schedule and do not tell their hosts. They're not paying for it. They don't want to pay, right? So they don't do it because they're busy or they forget or whatever, right? So a lot of times you're going to find that your hosts don't even know that they have a PK. They might not show up. It's going to happen often. They will not show up. What you're going to do, first off, if you get awarded a PK, BIOG will usually send out the schedule 1 to 3 days in advance. And yes, as Honey said in the chat, a lot of agencies don't do this, a lot. So you're welcome for being in the best agency because we do it. So BIOG sends out the schedule 1 to 3 days in advance. When you are awarded a PK, Sean will tell you in your hub, he'll say, this is your theme, this is your time, this is your opponent. At that time, immediately, you guys need to look at who your opponent is, go to the app, find that person, follow them and message them and say, hey, I see we have a PK in 2 days. Are you ready? Or, you know, like, I can't wait, looking forward to it, whatever it is, send them a little message. If they don't respond to you, then that's kind of your light bulb of like, they might not know, because in order to line with each other, you have to follow each other, right? So if they are doing the same due diligence as you're doing, they will see your message, they'll follow you, they'll message you, right? They should reach out to you. If they don't, if you don't hear from them, then you can safely assume that most likely, not 100%, but most likely they don't know and they're not going to be there. So what's going to happen at that point, when you haven't heard from them and your PK is today at 12 o'clock, right? You will line up a replacement ahead of time, right? This is being smart. Don't wait till the last minute. You could say, and this is just your friends, don't go to the public chats yet, but this will be just your friends on BIOG. You can ask a friend, hey, I have a PK and I haven't heard from my opponent. You know, it's today at 3 o'clock. Do you want to just like be there just in case? You want to be a backup just in case they don't show up, right? Try to line up somebody ahead of time. That way, if that person doesn't show up within 10 minutes, you have to give them 10 minutes. So if your PK is at 3, you have to wait till 10 after, till they don't show up, because sometimes they won't message you, but then they'll just line you right away. They'll just like, at the time, they'll be like, oh, and then they'll try to line you. And then you'll be like, oh, guess they are showing up. Great. Yeah. So if they show up, awesome. Give them 10 minutes. If they don't show up, if you try to line them and they're not lining you back and they just like no show completely, that's when you can do your replacement Okay, so if you haven't lined up a replacement ahead of time, you can go to the public replacement groups, put in, hey, I need a replacement. This is my PK. This is my reward. You know, and just put the information in the public group and say who wants it. And someone will say, oh, I do. Here's my ID. You guys will line each other, or you can tell them, hey, line, you know, add me, and then they'll request you, and you guys can go ahead and do your replacement. Okay, so that's how you're going to do that. Now, what's important when you get a replacement is you must tell us, because we must tell BIGO. If you get a replacement for your PK and you don't get it approved by BIGO, guess what? It's not going to count, because BIGO doesn't have you on the schedule going against so-and-so that you just replaced, right? So what you need to do is, there is a template. The template is always in the group chat, the Flaunt News group chat description. Okay, so when you click on, if you go to the description in the group, if I'm in WhatsApp and I go to the news chat, okay, if you click on the top, hold on, come on, okay, group info. Uh-oh. Oh, God damn it, iPhone. Okay, so they just deleted my group description, freaking iPhone. I just went from Android to iPhone, so I just saw that it's not there. I will have to re-add it. Panic, okay. In the group description will be the YouTube playlist, will be the template on how to fill out the replacement. Now that it's not there, I'm like, oh God. There will be important news in that description. Okay, so the group description is usually has all of that there. I do recommend saving that somewhere on your own notes, right? There's a template, it'll say like your, you know what, let me just see if there's a YouTube video on this. How to join official PK. Okay, no. So in the template, it's going to have like, you will ask Sean, first off, that's one thing you're gonna have to tag Sean separate. First tag Sean and say replacement needed, right? So in the template, it'll have like your host name, it'll have the theme, the time, and then the opponent, okay? So when your opponent did not show up, you will say no show opponent, right? And then that person's name, and then replacement, and then the new replacement's name. Everybody will get this in the template. Once you see the template, it'll be nice and clear. But you're going to have to do that every time so that we can send it to BIGO. Sean will send it to BIGO. You have to tag Sean, please, in your agency hub, and we'll get it approved, and they'll change the schedule so you get awarded your beats. Okay, if you don't do that, then we cannot help you. I want you guys to look at these replacements as benefits to you, because it might seem frustrating when your opponent doesn't show up, but guess what? This is in your benefit, because guess what? That person that you're going to get to replace, that friend that you get to replace, or the person that's replacing that opponent, they're most likely, and this is kind of like a courtesy of BIGO replacements, they're going to let you win. So this is your benefit, because if you were just going against the opponent, that opponent, they're going to want to win, right? And so you're not guaranteed to win. But when you get to replace that opponent that didn't show up with somebody that you choose, then guess what? That person is most likely almost 100% going to let you win the PK. So wouldn't you rather go against somebody that you know is going to let you win than versus somebody that you don't know and that might beat the shit out of you, right? So just look at it as like a bonus, right? When someone doesn't show up, it's a good thing, you know, because it most likely means that you're going to win that PK. Okay, so is everybody clear on that? Lots of thumbs up, please. Everybody thumbs up me and make sure that you have understood. I see no thumbs up. One thumbs up. Come on, guys. Davidson, Billy, Mina, Sally, Ashley. What's up, guys? All right, I see a little bit. There we go. Okay, good. So just remember the replacements and the template and signing up for at least one. Sign up for as many as you can. You're going to make a lot of extra money and get a lot of followers through this. Trust me, this is the key. This is 1 out of 2 keys, and I will tell you the next key after this. All right, so those are PKs. Someone, no, was that an accident? Okay. After your PK, you take a screenshot So on the video on YouTube, you'll see like how to do the PK. It'll show you how to join. You're going to choose 20 minutes. You're going to lie. It'll show you on the YouTube video. I suggest you watch it. Okay. And then after, you're going to take a screenshot of whether you win or lose. If you win or lose, doesn't matter. Take the screenshot and save it, because you're going to want that as proof. Sometimes at the end of the month, you'll notice that you didn't get your rewards. It can take up to a month to get your rewards. And if you notice after the month that you haven't got your rewards, then you're going to have to submit your screenshots. So that's why you want to save this. Okay. So save your screenshots as proof of your win or loss. Have a little record, right? When you get the PKs, you write it down. Have a little notebook of when you get your PKs and how much you won and who you went against to keep track. So at the end of the month, if you don't have it, see, Leah has her notebook there. All right, so if you don't have your rewards yet, you can submit to BIGO. Sometimes they'll give us a link. This is how much sometimes they miss the rewards. They'll give us an official link of like, oh, missing January rewards, fill out this link. And you got to fill out your opponent and who you and what time and the theme, and then load your screenshot. If you don't have that information, guess what? You're not getting the beans. Okay, so don't forget to keep that information with you just in case. You can check your bean rewards in your wallet, in your live data. There is a video on YouTube on how to check your rewards in the YouTube playlist. I will show you how to check specific rewards from BIGO. Okay, so you can keep track yourself of what awards they've got. They also should message you in your official messages when they award your beans. They should message you. Okay, so just keep track of that on your own. Can we screenshot that info?
I just want to say really quickly,
Yes.
BIGO has been really on top of paying back rewards quicker now, though. So like this last month, the first like week of January, I got, or I should say the first PKs that I did the first week of January, I got the week after that. So they have been like the last couple of months been really good about paying them back quickly. So
yay.
You don't have to wait usually 30 days anymore.
We like that. We like that. All right, good. Ashley just said in the chat, what's a PK? It's a game. Yes, it's a game. It's called Player Knockout. 2 hosts go head to head against each other. I explained there's official PKs, family PKs, and match PKs, just unofficial PKs. So yes, play those games. Okay, do those as much as you can. Yes, you screenshot that. Exactly. So, okay, now we're going to talk about live houses and new houses. These are events. These are special events that BIGO has. I'm sure you guys have seen on the app. If I go on the app right now, BIGO, I will see music live house right here, right at the top. All right, so the first box that pops up is the live house. The second one, oh, Music Monday live house. Awesome, right? So, and then I've got, where's my new house, live house? Well, it's not on here, but usually it is. Maybe it's not on right now. So these live houses, what these are is this is going to everybody that goes on BIGO. It's on the popular spot. It's like right at the top. Everybody will always see the live house. If you go into the live house, you'll see that there's thousands of people watching. So when I send the link in the group to sign up for a live house, there's 2. There's a live house and there's a new house. New house is only for new people in their first, 3 months, I think, on BIGO. You're allowed to sign up for these new houses. And then the live houses is for everybody. They do often themes, right? Like they have the music live house and Music Mondays live house. So when we send these links in the chat to sign up for the live houses, you 100% want to sign up for these, especially if you're new. Sign up for the live house and the new house. You get 2 chances to get seen. So when you get awarded a spot, it's a half-an-hour spot dedicated just for you, where you'll be live first. Like let's say you get a live house awarded at 2 o'clock. You'll go live on your own before 2 o'clock. You have to be live at least 15 minutes early. Don't miss it because you'll miss your invitation. So you'll go live. Let's say my live house is at 2. I would go live at 1:30. And that would be to like prepare everybody, all my viewers. Hey, I've got a live house, like everybody come. I would make a flyer, I'll post it to the bar, which we'll talk about in a second. But prepare all your fans for this live house. Then you'll get a little button that says, are you ready for your live house? And then you'll say yes, and they'll take you in automatically. When you go into this live house spot, it's a half-an-hour spot dedicated for you to be seen by thousands of people on the app. You are now on this you are now #1 on the page. Okay, so everyone's gonna go in, everyone's gonna see you. You can get gifts, you can get tons of new fans, You can just show, talk to people, meet new people, and you get 1,000 beans just for getting award. You get 1,000 extra beans. People can vote for you. If you get the most votes, I think it's like first, second, and third, there's a prize every day. You can get, Leah, do you know like how many beans they give for the Life House? It'll be on the description.
If you're the number one, you get an extra 5,000. So you get that 1,000 plus an extra 5.
Yay. And do you get any beans if you're like number 2 or 3?
I didn't see anything when I signed up. It just said if you're the top winner. But I will say this, sometimes if you're streaming and you signed up for the Live House that day and they need someone to throw in there, they might just throw you in there. Yeah. So I signed up for beauty, the beauty theme Live House, and I, said I was going to do eyebrows and all this stuff. And I had my whole thing set up, and I happened to be live early, and they threw me in there. So I got a whole hour slot, you guys.
Oh, wow.
I got 432 new fans, and I gained about 1,000 diamonds. So, and these are all from random new people. None of the people that were in there knew me. So that just goes to show you how beneficial it can be.
Yay. Yes. And so this is like, you guys just sign up for this. This is free. Right. So these are the ways through these PKs and through these live houses and through these family events. This is the way that you can get seen. Right. So definitely take advantage of this. Don't be shy. Okay. We're not on here on doing our own channels to be shy. Right. So take advantage, get these free beans from BIOG, get these new followers, get seen, get noticed. And you know what's really, really cool is if you do really well at these live houses, because BIOG's watching, if you do really well, you could get an invitation to the World Live House. And we've had hosts get invites to the World Live House, and you get seen by everybody around the world. This is a huge deal. Okay, so take advantage of these when we send these links in the chat. Really use it, utilize it, and sign up and get yourself seen and get yourself this free publicity, because this is how you're going to get known. This is how you're going to get big, right? So take advantage of this. Great. All right. So I hope that that was all really, really clear. We talked about getting a replacement. All right. So we're about done here. I'm just going to talk about a couple of other things before we close out, just like a couple of tips. Okay. So there is, once you guys are signed on and you get your welcome email, you will see in that email that there's a playlist that is a private. There's 2 playlists that I have on YouTube. One is a public playlist of short how-to videos, and one is a private playlist of just for people in the agency. This private playlist has, I put my meetings where we do the orientation, and we've done other special meetings like tips on how to be the best streamer, more information on PKs and trading and things like that. So there's like these YouTube videos that we've had as meetings that you guys have access to that will really, really help you. There are these videos that I recommend you guys watch. I'm just going to quickly touch on what to do while you're streaming to make the most out of your stream. Okay, so first, when you're new and no one is talking to you, just fill the air, okay? Don't read a book, don't watch TV, don't just be silent until someone talks to you. Just talk, all right? Sing, I don't know, like do something, but just try to like be active, and just when someone comes into the chat, talk to those people, right? Hey, say hello. When someone gifts you, always thank them. Say thank you for gifts, because, people want to be recognized. They want to like get validation for spending money on you. It costs money for them to send these gifts, right? So when they gift you, say thank you, acknowledge them. Okay. So that's really, really important that you acknowledge people when they gift. Just find ways to keep busy when you're new. Right. Something I highly recommend is bringing your followers in from other social media apps. When I first started on BIOG, I had been streaming on a different app, and I brought all of those people over to BIOG. And I brought everybody from Instagram that I knew wanted to see me live. I would post on Instagram on my story, and I would say, I'm going live on BIOG at this time. If you really want to be bold, you can do a post on Instagram and make a poster and say, I'm live on BIOG at this time, and people can come. Promote yourself, right? How are people going to know that you're on live on BIOG if you don't tell people? Okay, so don't just make it up to BIOG to show people that you're live. Use your network, use your social media, be savvy about this and spread the word. Another thing that I like to do when I'm streaming, when people gift me, I will follow those people and I will tell them about my stream every time. If somebody's gifting me, you best believe I'm going to be coming back to that person and be like, hey, I'm live. Come hang out, right? Like, don't be stupid. If someone like sent you 5,000 diamonds, like you like make friends with them. And you know, another thing that I did, I would follow them on Instagram and I would message them because sometimes people don't check their BIGO chats and a lot of it is spam, right? So I would reach out to them on Instagram. If I had a gifter that was coming to my live every day and gifting me, I would follow their Instagram and I would talk to them on Instagram and I would, you know, just have a conversation, right? These people want to get to know you and I would talk to them. And then every time I had a PK, I would say, hey, I've got a PK today. I've got to get, you know, a dragon. Can you help me out? Like, come to my live, you know, or even just like, hey, I'm live, come say hi, you know, so just develop relationships. Developing relationships with people, with gifters especially, is how you're going to get your following up and how you're going to hit your minimums, right? So find friends on the app. That's another thing that I said there was 2 keys to winning BIGO. 1 is doing the PKs and the events, and 2 is networking. So I know I talked about this on the phone call. And I told you guys it's like going to high school. And if you want to get in with the popular crowd, you'll be one of the popular kids. Or if you want to sit at lunch at the table by yourself and not talk to anybody, then no one's going to know who you are. So think about that. There are ways you can look at the heat list and find out who's popular. You can make friends. One of the people that I know, one of the girls that's very successful on BIGO, she's a freaking networker and a half. She not only makes friends on BIGO, but she like meets up with them in real life. She like makes real friends and she's like the most popular. Like, people love her on the app because she's networked and she's got out there and people know who she is because she has made friends and made connections. Another thing that you guys can do is our panels. So you can collaborate with other people. You can host a panel, and this is something, like I said, we do in the middle of the month, the agency panel. You guys can host your own panel. You can have like game night. You can have comedy night on Friday. I know there was a comedian that's just signed up this month. You know, you find other comedians and make a comedy night. Dance night, you know, Friday night, get a DJ and have dancers. You know, you can do all these panels. You can do these things. You can start groups. So there was this club called the Bad Bitch Club that I'm a part of when I was streaming. And the Bad Bitch Club got so popular that BIGO featured them. They now have their own little box on BIGO, just like the new house of the Bad Bitch Club. So if you start a group and you start something, BIGO will notice and BIGO can feature you. If you're a really good streamer, they will come to me. We're in touch with the marketing. They'll come to me and they'll say, hey, do you have any hosts that have specific shows that we can feature? And if you have a solid show with a solid idea, they will feature you. And not only will they market you on the app, but they'll market you on Instagram too. So you guys have the opportunity to get big on this app. It's what you want to do with it, right? Create a show, tell us about the show, get people coming to your show, tell BIGO, and BIGO will make it official. They'll make it an official show. This is what happens with people. This is how they get big, right? They are involved, and BIGO likes that. And they love hosts that are involved. They love hosts that are creating content, right? This is what we want for you guys. So create a show, do a panel, get your network out there, make friends, do these matches, right? Get out there and make friends with people. And this is the key to becoming successful on BIGO, is the network that you're going to develop on the app. Do not ignore the chat when you're live. Talk to people, talk to specific people. Don't just talk in general. And then just notice what makes people gift. Just take it, you know, like, what did you do when you got the most gifts? Were you dancing? Were you singing? Were you telling jokes? Were you, you know, just keep track of like what's beneficial for you guys. There are a few other programs. There's an audio program. If you have a podcast and you want to do an audio program, you can reach out to me. If you're a gamer and you do video games and you want to do a video program, you can reach out to me. These programs are on top of your streamer programs. They have other requirements and there is pay for that, but you have to still hit your host minimum, your regular streaming minimums, okay? So if you have questions about those other programs, let me know. We just talked about panels, collaborate with each other. That's about it. So I just quickly, before we say goodbye, I just want to talk about the guidelines on how to not get banned. So hold on. The app is semi-exclusive. Don't talk about TikTok. Don't talk about competitor streams. You might get banned. They don't want you streaming on other apps. So just be careful, because I'm sure they won't find you, but just don't talk about it. You're allowed to share your Instagram, you're allowed to share your YouTube, but you're not allowed to like, talk about TikTok and stuff. Okay. All right. So share your streams on social media, right? When you're live streaming, there's that button. You can share it, share it everywhere. Share it to WhatsApp, share it to social media, share it wherever you can. Share. So the regulations now, you don't want to get banned. If you get banned once, then the AI is watching you. You could get banned again and again and again, and we don't want it to make it a habit. You don't want to get banned for more than 10 minutes. Sometimes the ban can be 10 minutes. Sometimes it can be 24 hours. Sometimes it can be permanent. If you get permanently banned, you're most likely fucked. Okay. So just be careful. I will talk about how to get permanently unbanned in a moment, but let's talk about guidelines. No cleavage. Okay. This is probably even too much. My shirt today, this is a bad thing. Okay. We want it like this. Okay. No belly buttons, no booty cheeks, no twerking. Sometimes if you want to twerk, you can do it from the side. That's what I did. So, just be careful. No crude language. Like, just be careful about like things like Megan the Stallion. Like, if they hear like moans and stuff, they'll cut your stream off. If you have a child, no naked kids. Okay, just even be careful of even having children in your stream, because you're not allowed to be under 18 and streaming. Right. So even with having just kids in your stream, even though you'll see people doing it, be careful, because you could get your stream cut off, especially if they're not wearing clothes, if they're running around in a diaper. Guess what? You're going to get banned. So just be careful. Don't wear a mask, because that could be, there's no warning. Sometimes there's a warning. I've actually had warnings, but most of the time you're not going to get a warning. They're just going to ban you. But I actually have had warnings, and I was like, wow, thanks, Bigo. But most of the time,
I think it depends on the content. Like me, I do a Freaky Friday panel every Friday. And if we get too explicit, Bigo will send a message to me that's like, warning, we've detected blah, blah, blah.
yeah.
But if it's like nudity, they're not going to warn you. They're just going to immediately shut it off. So just be careful.
Yeah. And sometimes what you guys think might be innocent, the AI, like, this is not a human being watching you. This is just like triggers on a computer. So like, I remember there was this one girl who kept getting banned, and she was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. And then her husband was like, you touch your chest when you talk. So she was doing like this, and they were flagging it as her touching her chest, touching herself. So just be careful. Like, if you're dancing, be careful. If you talk with your hands, be careful. It's just things that you just have to be aware of. Don't wear a mask. That could be like translated as terrorism in some places. Don't be off the screen for too long. If you're off screen, they can shut you out. Don't be quiet for too long. They can shut you off. So just be really, really careful, and just stay within a PG-13 guideline. Okay. Don't say the word banned. If you say the word banned, that kind of like flags them as something bad. So like, you don't want to say banned. A lot of times they say bigoed or bananaed or something. Like, they'll use a different term for getting banned. You don't want to say banned on your live. The F word is fine. It's just like, just be careful. You don't want like tons of crude language and tons of moaning. Then you could get banned. But I swear on my lives all the time, and I've never gotten in trouble for that. Don't smoke. Don't drink. If sometimes people will smoke like this, and they'll come back and they'll be smoking. Don't do that. Okay. Don't do that. Just don't do that unless you want to get banned. Sure. You want to take that chance. I'm not going to help you out, but you want to try it, go ahead. But if you need to smoke, can you just smoke like this, exhale over here, and then come back? Okay. If you're having a drink, try to just not make it look like alcohol. Okay. If you have a little thermos or a mug or something, okay. Don't like, even this, like, even though this is just juice, I wouldn't do this, because you never know. Right. Some people drink on their live. That's fine. But like, just be careful, because you're not allowed. So just know, right, that even though people might be getting away with this when you watch their lives, do you really want to risk it? Probably not. Right.
A really big one recently that a lot of people who have cooking content is knives. Even if you're cooking, do not handle knives in your camera. If you're doing cooking, make sure you have all of your stuff that you need to cut up prepped before, because Bigo will ban you for showing a knife. Even though you're cooking.
They definitely will. Yeah. So no knives, no weapons, right? That's a weapon. No blood. I remember this one person on Halloween, she was doing like a bloody, just like a fun makeup bloody look. Banned. Okay. So no blood, no cuts, no weapons, none of that stuff. Nothing that even looks like a gun. Like, I had one host who, she was like marinating lamb chops, and she had the lamb chops in a bag, and they were all like with like oregano and stuff. It looked like a bag of weed, even though it wasn't. Guess what? She got banned. Okay, there was like another person that had like a child was making like a project, and they had cotton balls with like something to make it look like a tree. It looked like a nugget of weed. Banned. All right, so just be careful. Don't do anything that will get you banned, especially at the end of the month. They are on it. They are banning people left, right, and center because they don't want you to win. Okay, so do not do anything that could get you banned. Just be careful. That is my advice to you. There are ways, if you get a permanent ban, there are ways to unban you, even though you got permanent bans. You have to pay. So once you get a little bit better on BIGO, at the beginning, just be careful, because if you get permanently banned, you're pretty much fucked. Once you start getting beans and you've got, you know, like stuff going on, if you get permanently banned, let's say you had money in your account and you got all these beans and all these diamonds, and you're like, you know, going to hit 130,000 tier, you're going to get paid all this money, you get permanently banned. Obviously, you don't want to lose all that money, right? So that's important to you. You want to get back on. You can get back on. You just have to pay for certain points. This is where your SVIP friends come into play. The SVIPs can pay BIGO and give them points to get you unbanned. A lot of people will sell these points. There are public groups for points for selling. You can join these groups and people will sell their points at the end of the month. People are selling them for cheaper because they want to get rid of them because they expire every month. Sometimes at the beginning of the month, it might be a little more expensive. You can bargain with people. You'll see the prices. But the best thing is to make friends with the SVIPs, because if you have a hookup, and this is why I would take my best gifters and reach them outside of BIGO, because if anything ever happens to me and I get banned permanently, or once I got a 3-day ban and I was like, there's no way I want to get banned for 3 days, I need to stream. I reached out to my SVIP friends on Instagram and I said, hey, I need 150 points. Do you have points? Can you help me get unbanned? And guess what? They did it for me for free. Okay, so if I didn't have that contact off BIGO, I wouldn't have been able to reach them, right? Because I can't get into my BIGO account because I'm banned. So I was able to reach them outside on Instagram, and I was able to get the hookup, and I was able to get unbanned because I made friends with an SVIP person. So SVIPs are very valuable for you guys because they could spend their points on you and get you unbanned if you ever need it, right? Or give you a good deal. You say, oh, maybe I'll give you $100, whatever it is, right? And if you don't have that, that's fine. There are public groups where people are selling their points. If you need it, you can get unbanned. It'll take a few days, okay? So just be careful with those permanent bans. That is pretty much it. Does anybody, before we close, oh, I want to touch on the bar. Okay, right before I close, I'm going to say what the bar is, because the bar is also going to help you. So if you guys haven't discovered yet on BIGO, they have what they call the bar, and the bar is your best friend for promoting yourself. So if I go to BIGO and I can, hold on, where is it? Bar. All right, so at the bottom here, oh, look who's on the bar. It's Tanner. So on the bar, right down here, it'll say bar. You can post to the bar. There's a little thing up here. I can post. I can like, you know, put a picture, put a video. I could do whatever I want. It's pretty much like the Instagram feed of BIGO. So when you have something to promote, Tanner says you put a picture, right? People are scrolling this bar all the time, right? So people will discover you through the bar. What I did on my Android, and I don't know if you can do it on iPhone, but I would screenshot when I'm live. Like if somebody gifted me, this is like a really good tip. If someone gifted me, sometimes even the little gifts, I don't even care. I just want to post to the bar. I would screenshot the gift and it'll ask me if I want to share to the bar. And I would share that picture to the bar while I'm live and get people to come in that they'll see on the bar that I'm getting gifts, and they'll come into my live. So post flyers, make flyers. If you have a PK, right? Post a flyer to the bar. I have a PK on Thursday at 12 o'clock. Come see me, you know, or I'm doing a panel, whatever. Post your flyers, post your pictures, post your lives, post everything you can to the bar. It costs you nothing and it gets you free publicity. Okay, so explore the bar, post to the bar, and that's part of the new house challenge, right? Is posting to the new, you have to tag the new house and post to the bar every day. So then you can get beans for that, free beans. So that's about it for today. You know, if you guys have any questions, I encourage you please to put it in the chat right now. So any other questions, please put it in the chat. And while you guys do that, I'm just going to talk about that role as the agency. So you guys met Sean, you guys met Leah, you guys met myself. We are here to help you. We are not here to force you to do anything, right? This is your own job. This is your own schedule. This is your own motivation. This is you're self-employed, right? We're not paying you. BIGO is paying you. You are self-employed. You are expected to do this on your own. We can only help you and guide you and give you the tools. This is what I'm doing now, right? I cannot make you work. So really, use us as your help, as your guides, as your support, but self-motivate yourself, okay? Because we're here to help you. We don't make money if you don't make money. All of our time goes to waste if you guys don't make money, right? So we want to see you guys succeed. So just know that we are here to help you, but we're not here to babysit you, okay? At the end of the month, keep track of your beans and hours. If you need help, if like you're at the end of the month and you've done your hours and you're like 1,000 beans short, or you're almost at the next tier, yes, reach out, let us know, right? Hey guys, I'm struggling. I just need this much more. Like, what can I do? Maybe we know someone that can make a trade with you. Maybe we can help you out. I can also control your pay at the end of the month. So if you wanted to like borrow pay from your own pay and give yourself beans to get to your tier, make your money, we can do that. So there's ways that we can help you out. So just feel free to reach out to us at all times. So whenever you're like in real need, but we're not taking care of you. We're not your babysitters. Okay. So do your own thing. There are incentives every month from the agency. We have a zero negativity tolerance. If you are an asshole, you are going to be out of my life. So please, no mean things. We are really here to help you. We're really doing our best. It is a lot of work for the three of us on BIGO. Just so you guys know, we do a lot of back-end work that a lot of agencies don't even give a damn to do. So we're doing extra for you guys. We're putting our time in every day, literally every day, all day is BIGO for us. Okay. So we are doing our very, very best to help you guys out. So please respect that with the agency, and please just honor all the work that we do for you guys to help you succeed. Okay. I wanted to touch on that because Leah and Sean and I, we work very hard to set this all up for you guys to make it as easy as possible for you guys. Another thing I want you guys to do is follow these social media accounts. And actually, Leah and Sean, I don't have yours. You can feel free to put that in the chat there. Those are our social media accounts. And you should also follow our YouTube channel, please. And the YouTube channel link is in your welcome email. And that way you guys will have it. Oh, and here, I forgot the last thing I want to talk about. The agency, let me look at the questions first. TikToks to the bar. No, I would not do that, Sally. Okay, that's the only question. Great. So the agency emoji, just so you guys know, is the little stars. I don't think I can do it on here. Can I do it on? Let me see if I can find the emoji on. Star. I don't think I have it on Zoom. Damn it.
Denise, I just put it in for you.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, so Sally just posted in the chat. That's our agency emoji. So you guys can you can't change your BIGO name, but you can change your screen name. Put the little emoji in there. You'll kind of learn that people have like family emojis and they have like all these little, like, you'll start learning about that on BIGO, but that's the agency emoji. And if you have that in your name, that way when you go to people's lives, they'll know, oh, I'm in Flaunt as well, right? So you guys will know that you guys belong to the same agency. That will help you with your cross support. That will help you guys know, like, be friends, hang out with each other, support each other, match with each other, right? If you guys do matches on the live, both of your hours count. So, and you can do up to, I think, 4 people. You can do a double match, right? All of your hours will count. So you can go with hosts. You can like hang out with the agency host, and instead of doing a panel, do the matches, then you guys can talk to each other.
6. You can do 3 on each side.
Perfect. You guys can do up to 6 hosts at a time on a match. And that means everybody's hours are counting. Y'all can hang out, y'all can talk, get to know each other. Everybody's followers can follow each other, right? So this is a really great way to have hours count and still be able to be social if you choose so to do that. Mina says, if I do a dance night, super PG. Yes, absolutely. Please keep it PG. When I was doing my dancing, like I said, if I was going to twerk, I would do it to the side so that you can see my booty. And then I would keep it, you can dance sexy, you just can't wear things that are showing, right? So just wear normal clothes and you can dance however you want, but just don't wear like, you know, cleavage and fishnets and belly button, all that kind of stuff. Let's see. Yeah.
Did
at
Minna
least
already
4.
have her training?
So what, Ashley?
Whoever, Minna.
I think Ashley has training.
No, because she's asking some questions that I usually go over in the training.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So if you didn't get your training yet, don't worry. She'll talk about that. Instagram is okay in the chat. That will happen in your in-app training. Venmo, I don't think so. I don't think you're allowed to ask for money on the app. So just be careful with that. I wouldn't do it. And then, yeah, for best results, 4 hours a day is great. You can kind of figure out how you want to do it, right? Maybe 4 hours a day might be a lot, but you could try it. You know, and I do recommend trying it definitely, because like I said, in my experience, when I was on for 4 to 5 hours, those are my best nights. I remember like Friday, Saturday nights, I would do like a dance party. I'd be on for 5 hours, just dancing, putting music on, enjoying myself, dancing, talking to people, and I would make the most beans. And that's when I was hitting $5,000 a month on BIOG. So yeah, if no one else has any questions, I'm really proud of you guys for being here. Thank you. I know it's a lot, and this is recorded. So I'm just going to stop the recording now.